Today we're going to do something pretty unique. We've had a pretty successful archery season so far, so I've got 2 does in here. We're going to take them back and start the processing. There's a piece of that's taking the hide off that I think is always the most difficult. I've got a trick to show you. Maybe something you might want to consider at your next deer camp. I process all my deer, and probably the part that I dislike the most is pulling the hide. It can be really tough, cramp your hands up. It really can be pretty rough on you. I'm gonna showcase something to you that you may have seen before or heard of before. I'm gonna go through step by step exactly how you do this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the hides off of these utilizing a golf ball. You can also use a rock. You put this under the hide, under the neck, and you literally just pull it right off. To do that, what you're gonna need is you're gonna need a good sharp knife, a saw. You can use a hand saw. I prefer the old Sawzall. It works really well. A couple of really good straps, and I use a piece of plastic that I put on the ground, and that's because when the hide gets pulled off, I don't want my meat hitting the grass or the gravel or whatever you're doing it on. And then you need something to pull with. For this, I'm gonna use this ATV, which has a winch on the front. You can also use a truck if you got a winch. I've never tried to hand pull one, but I got a feeling that it would probably work as well. So let's get to it and show you exactly how it works. It's really not that difficult, and it sure saves the cramping of the hands. So to make this work effectively, what I want to have is a cut that goes around the neck, and it goes all the way back in and hooks into where I field dressed it. It also I'll make a slit from where I field dressed it up to where I'm cutting these legs off. And what that does is it literally will pull it off like a throw rug. And this allows you to not have to do near as much pulling if you make a couple of really good cuts. So first off, I'm gonna use this knife. I'm gonna cut through the meat and the hide, and when I get to the bone, I'm gonna use this Sawzall. I'm gonna do the exact same thing to the back legs. The idea now is to open up the back hams. You can see here that I've got a little bit of hide in between where I've sawed that off to where I field dressed it. So for this, I like to use a knife with a gut hook. I can wiggle that gut hook right underneath that hide and slide it right off. We're gonna do the exact same thing to the other side. Slide this gut hook in, and you need to do this on all 4 legs. The deer hide is no longer attached at the hams on the front or the back. You gotta have this hide completely removed from the front shoulder. You can see I've made a couple cuts and got this thing started right here. Now I wanna tie a noose around the neck. Now I've got the deer tied, I need to come back and attach this so that I can use the support of the tree to keep from pulling this deer away. So now, I've got my deer attached to the tree. I've got the hide where it should be ready to come off, with one exception, and that's the neck. Now we need to get down and we need to make that cut, and that's where I will insert the golf ball. Slide that golf ball in like that. Now I'll wrap my cable and grab this knuckle that I've made and just back out. Because of the size of this golf ball and the opening of this clevis here, I'm gonna try to just put the golf ball underneath the clevis. All right, that feels pretty secure. Let's see what happens. It's that easy. I tell you what, if you've ever pulled the hide off a deer, you'll know your hands will be clenched and cramped from pulling and pulling and pulling. In this method, you let the ATV do all the work, and you can do them one right after the next. I probably wouldn't recommend getting all this stuff together to do one, because you can pretty much pull all the hide off in the time it takes you to gather the tools. But if you got multiple deer, this is the only way to go.